Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Confident Traveler Podcast. I'm David, and today we've got something really exciting for you, especially if you're dreaming of your next big vacation abroad.
That's right, David. I'm Sarah, your trusty travel agent for today's journey, and we're going to take you through an entire travel experience, all in English. From the moment you step into a travel agency, like mine, to finally landing at your dream destination.
And I'm Emma. I'll be guiding you through the airport check-in process. It can feel a bit daunting, right? But we're here to make it smooth and understandable.
And I'm Lisa, your friendly flight attendant. Once you're on board, I'll show you how to navigate the in-flight experience, order food, and even do some duty-free shopping, all with confidence. No more pointing and hoping.
Exactly. So imagine this. You've been working incredibly hard, those long hours, those big projects, and you finally have some time off. You've saved up and you're ready for an adventure. You're standing inside a bustling travel agency, a world of possibilities at your fingertips. You want to go to another country, but booking flights, finding a hotel, giving your information, and doing it all in English? That can be a hurdle.
It really can. Many of our listeners tell us that the language barrier is one of their biggest worries when planning international travel. They know what they want, but finding the right words to ask for it or understanding the details can be stressful.
Absolutely. How do you communicate with that travel agent? What do you say at the check-in counter? How do you even order a drink or a meal on the plane without feeling flustered? Well, today, we're going to give you a complete English conversation toolkit for traveling. You'll listen, you'll repeat, you'll speak. By the end of this lesson, you're going to feel so much more confident about your next English-speaking journey.
We've crafted a whole narrative for you today. Our story kicks off right here at the travel agency. Our main character, David, that's our speaker in the story, but also our host today, wants to visit Australia. A fantastic choice, by the way.
Thanks, Sarah. So I'm playing myself, the eager traveler. I head to Sarah, my excellent travel agent, to sort everything out. Then, we'll move to the airport with Emma for the check-in process, and finally, onto the airplane where Lisa will ensure a smooth flight.
It's like a mini adventure right here on the podcast. So listen carefully for the expressions, try to repeat the sentences in your mind, or even out loud if you can. The more you engage, the more you'll learn.
And don't worry if you don't catch everything the first time. That's why podcasts are great. You can always rewind and listen again. But for now, let's dive straight into the first scene. David enters a modern travel agency, and I, Sarah, smile and welcome him.
Good morning, sir. How can I help you today? Looking for an escape?
Good morning. Yes, actually, I'm definitely looking for an escape. I finally have some time off from work next month, and I was thinking of going to Australia. It's been a dream of mine for ages.
Oh, Australia! That sounds absolutely fantastic. It's truly a wonderful destination, so much to see and do there. How long are you planning for your vacation?
Just 1 week, unfortunately. My last day of work is Friday, July 26th, and I go back to work on August 5th. So it's a tight squeeze, but I want to make the most of it.
Okay, 1 week. Got it. Let me just pull up some options for you. Here, take a look at our Sydney brochure. It's packed with stunning images and some great hotel suggestions. Have a look and see if there's anything that catches your eye. Anything you particularly like.
The sound of pages turning. Wow, these pictures are incredible. Sydney Harbor, the Opera House, those beaches. This is exactly what I need. Oh, this one looks good. The Four Seasons Hotel? It looks pretty luxurious, and I've heard it's very nice, though probably on the pricier side.
Yes, it is. The Four Seasons is a very high-class hotel, definitely one of the best in Sydney. It's known for its impeccable service and prime location. I'm sure you would thoroughly enjoy your stay there. Shall I go ahead and make the booking for that now?
Yes, please. Let's do it.
All right, so David's off to a great start getting his hotel sorted. Now, before we move on to David giving his personal information, let's pause for a quick vocabulary break. These phrases are super useful when you're talking to a travel agent or anyone helping you with bookings.
First up, how can I help you? This is such a common and polite way to offer assistance. It's simply asking, What do you need? Or what service are you looking for? For example, if someone walks up to you looking confused, you can ask, "How can I help you today?"
Exactly. Next, we have time off from work. This means vacation time or days you're free from your job. So when David said, "I have some time off from work next month," he meant he has some free days for a holiday. You might say, "I have 2 weeks off from work in December and I'm planning a ski trip."
Then there's I was thinking of going to. This is a great way to express a travel idea or a destination you're considering. It shows you haven't fully decided yet, but it's on your mind. So, I was thinking of going to France means I have an idea to travel to France. It's less definitive than I am going to France.
And finally, make a booking. This means to reserve something, a flight, a hotel, a tour, anything you need to confirm in advance. You can say, "I want to make a hotel booking for my trip next month." It's much more common than saying, "Make a reservation" in this context, especially for flights and hotels.
All right, now let's practice those. We're going to say some phrases, and we'd love for you to repeat them out loud or at least mentally. Ready? Here we go. Repeat after us. Good morning, how can I help you?
Good morning. How can I help you?
Now you try. Okay, great. Next, I would like to book a trip.
I would like to book a trip.
Your turn. Excellent. How about this one? I am thinking of going to Australia.
I am thinking of going to Australia.
You got it. A question now. How long is your vacation?
How long is your vacation?
And the answer, just 1 week.
Just 1 week.
And finally, I would like to reserve this hotel.
I would like to reserve this hotel.
Fantastic. Keep that practice up. Now let's jump back into our story. Sarah is preparing my reservation, and she needs some essential details from me.
All right, David. Everything looks good for the 4 seasons. I just need to take some personal information to finalize everything. What is your full name, please?
It's David Michael Brown.
Thank you, David. And your address?
It's 25 King Street, London.
Perfect. And your primary telephone number?
020-555-7890.
Got it. Do you happen to have a daytime number where I can contact you? Perhaps an office number, just in case I need to reach you during business hours?
Yes, absolutely. You can call my office. The number there is 020-777-2222. That's usually the best way to get me during the day.
Excellent, thank you. Just one more thing for the booking records. Will you be traveling alone on this trip?
Yes, just me this time. It's a solo adventure.
Great job, David. See, giving personal information can be simple. Let's quickly highlight some key phrases from that exchange. What is your full name? Pretty straightforward. It's asking for your complete name, first, middle, last. Make sure you know how to spell it out, just in case.
Then we heard, where can I contact you? This means, where can I call you? Or, what's the best way to reach you? It could be a phone number, an email, or even an alternative number like an office line, as David provided.
And will you be traveling alone? Is simply asking if you're going by yourself or with companions. Super useful to know for single room bookings or if they need to prepare for multiple travelers.
Now, let's do a quick speaking drill. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer them out loud as if you were talking to Sarah, the travel agent. Ready? First question. What is your full name?
Great. Now, where do you live?
Excellent. And finally, what is your phone number?
Fantastic. Practicing those basic personal details is so important. You'll use them constantly when traveling. Now back to our trip planning. Sarah is checking the computer for my flight options.
Okay, David, you finish work on Friday, July 26th. So, shall I book your flight for Saturday the 27th to make sure you have a full week of vacation?
Yes, please. That sounds perfect. And I'd like a return flight on Saturday, August 3rd. That way I have Sunday to recover before heading back to the office on the 5th.
Smart planning. Let me just check availability for those dates. Typing sounds. Okay, there's a flight with Qantas Airways, which is a great airline. However, it does have a 3-hour stopover in Singapore. Are you comfortable with a layover?
A 3-hour stopover. I'd really prefer to get there as quickly as possible. Is there a direct flight available? I don't mind paying a little extra for the convenience.
Let's see. typing. Yes, there is. There's a Malaysian Airways flight. It leaves at 7 o'clock Saturday morning, bright and early, and arrives in Sydney at 6:30 p.m. the following day, local time. That's a direct route.
Oh, that sounds much better. A direct flight would be ideal. I can sleep on the plane.
Excellent. Just remember to account for the time difference when you land. The times I'm giving you are always local times for departure and arrival.
Oh, right. I always forget about that. Australia is 3 hours ahead, isn't it? So a 6:30 p.m. arrival isn't as late as it sounds from my departure time.
That's exactly right. Good memory. You'll gain some time, but it'll feel like a long day.
Time differences can be tricky, can't they? Let's quickly review some flight-related vocabulary from that conversation. First, flight itself. It simply means an airplane trip. Pretty basic, but essential, like my flight leaves at 8 a.m.
Then there's direct flight. This is what David was looking for. It's a flight without any stops or changes. You get on one plane and you get off at your destination. Super convenient, especially for long journeys.
And the opposite of that is a stopover, sometimes called a layover. This is a break or a stop between flights, often in a different city or country, where you get off one plane and wait for your next connection. 3 hours in Singapore sounds nice, but David wanted to go direct.